Plenty of work left over in the Europa League as the quarterfinal first legs. 3 of them all ended all square. Will the second legs be any different? We'll take a look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about the Europa League. It's the quarterfinals and it is those second legs. We'll get to those in a minute. Of course, if you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button. One stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, Europa League, World Football. We're going to all here under one roof. That's right, 3 of the 4 quarterfinals, first legs, all ended as a level bloody pegging. The only victor was Bodo Glimt, that's right, with a cool, convincing victory over Lazio, that's right. But can they get through to those semi-finals? We'll take a look at that, of course, in a second. Of course, big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons, you know who you are. What we're going to do now, though, is revisit the scorelines for those quarterfinal first legs, bring it bang up to date with the odds with the bookies, and then, of course, look forward to the second legs and see who makes it through to those semi-finals. So sit tight, hold on, let's get into it then, shall we? Here we go. Here's the Europa League, it's the quarterfinals, and it is those second legs. And they're coming at you this coming week, that's right. But before all that, we've got to go through the first legs and remind ourselves what went down, that's right. We already talked about it, we glossed over it. Bodo Glimt with a big, massive 2-1 win. Well, actually, it was a 2-1 win was my scoreline prediction. It was actually a 2-0 win, even more convincing than my scoreline. Spurs came back from behind to draw level with Eintracht Frankfurt, 1-1 on the night. I went with a 2-0 win. Rangers lost a man, 10-man Rangers for the good part of that game. They managed to hold on tight for a 0-0 draw. I actually did back Bilbao for the victory. And then Lyon and Manchester United all square at the end, 2-2. It looked like Man United were going to win that one, 2-1, but Lyon came back. Last minute drama to, of course, get themselves a share of the points. So it does mean the games are pretty much even Stevens, including the Bodo Glimt match over in Norway. But of course, it does go to Italy this time around. Currently, though, the bookies odds have it like this, and this is where it's all at. So to lift the title, we have Rangers currently. They are 8th favourites to lift the trophy, but they're actually 7th favourites, even though they look like they've got an upper hand in those quarterfinals. Lyon are what are we looking at? 6th favourites. Lazio are 5th favourites. Eintracht Frankfurt are 3rd with Spurs. Actually, Eintracht Frankfurt are 4th. Spurs are 3rd. Manchester United are 2nd favourites, with Bilbao currently top dogs as being the favourites. So, of course, that's what the bookies think. What about you? Let me know down below. Let's, of course, though, look forward to those second legs, and they're coming at you right here, right now. We start with a trip to Italy, and it is Lazio up against Bodo Glimt. Of course, 2-0 upper hand, good advantage for the Norwegians under Knajo Knudsen. Lazio, though, under Marco Baroni, are something else. They did finish top pins, remember, of course, top of the pops over in the league structure compared to Bodo Glimt's 9th. Now, this match takes place at the Stadio Olimpico on the 17th of April, with Lazio coming into just 1 win in the last 6 months. That's, of course, domestically and in this competition. Bodo Glimt, though, winning 5 on the spin. They look the real deal, and, of course, hopefully for them, they would like to extend that run to a 6th or maybe a 7th win on the maps. Now, of course, the first leg was a 2-0 win over in Norway. Lazio, though, picking up a what are they looking at here? They're taking on Roma this weekend. Stadio Olimpico is the Roma derby, massive game, so back-to-back home games for them. They're expected to lose the first game against Roma, but win this game against Bodo Glimt over in the Europa League quarterfinal stages. But the Norwegians, no distractions for them. Their full focus is this game, so maybe they'll come at you a bit of refreshed and raring to go. So the bookies currently have Lazio favoured for this tie, but Bodo Glimt, of course, got a lot of work to do still to get over the line. A draw or more, though, for Bodo Glimt to get in the line. I do think Lazio will win this 2-1. And again, if you're quick and savvy with your mathematics, you will know who will go through on aggregate. Let's go to Germany then, shall we? As Dino Topmuller's Frankfurt take on Ange Postelegro's Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, this could be his final game if it all goes Pete Tong for Ange here. Of course, playing at the Deutsche Bank Park. Frankfurt finished 5th in the league with 16 points compared to Spurs, who finished 4th in the league. These two sides should be at this competition at this level, finishing in the top 8. So respect. Now, they've played 3 times to 2022. 1 win Spurs, 2 draws between 2 sides. And, of course, no wins for Frankfurt. Of course, the last time they played at Frankfurt, it was a 0-0 draw way back in October 2022. And if it was to be a 0-0 draw, then I think we'd have to penalties to decide the factor. Of course, so Spurs have a one and only win. That was a 3-2 win way back in October 2022. Now, these 2 matches were in the Champions League group stages way back in the 22-23 season. Spurs will be taking on Wolves this weekend on the road. They're expected to lose that game, would you believe it or not? And the bookies have Frankfurt have slight favourites over Spurs in this game. Meanwhile, the Germans will be taking on Heidenheim this weekend, again at the same very venue, the Deutsche Bank Park, with Frankfurt expected to win back-to-back matches here. Of course, the bookies will have Frankfurt slight favourites for this time, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, Spurs are third favourites or fourth favourites to lift the bloody trophy. I'm going to go with an away win here. Spurs to nick it 1-0 on the night. And Spurs will go through to a semi-final, a favourable semi-final, you would imagine, if my calculations are correct. Let's hop on over then to Spain then, shall we, as Bilbao take on Rangers at the San Mamés Stadium. Bilbao under Ernesto Valverde, who did finish second in this group with 19 points, up against Rangers, who finished 8th. Again, both clubs meant to be here. They did finish in the top 8. They played just one time earlier. Bilbao coming into this, though, unbeaten in the last 6 matches, however, drawn 3 on the spin. Up against Rangers coming into this on the back of what are we looking at here? 3 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 draw in the last 6. Now, of course, the reverse fixture was a 0-0 draw at Ibrox. That was back in April the 10th. Rangers, though, picking up a match against Aberdeen this weekend, and then it is Bilbao, of course, before the Scottish division splits in 2. Rangers are expected to win the game against Aberdeen, but expected to take an L here against Bilbao. Bilbao got Vallecano this weekend, and both of those matches, this one and the game in La Liga, both at the San Mamés. So back-to-back home for Bilbao, no travel for them. So it could be a prime opportunity for them to get the W. Bookies have them favourites overwhelmingly so. You wouldn't even touch Rangers at the moment. And again, they'll have to do with that suspension on the cards there for Rangers from the red card from the last match. I do think Bilbao will win this game. I don't think it's going to be a cricket score. I don't think there'll be much in it. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Bilbao on the night. And then finally, we go to probably the game of the day. It is Madrid. It's Manchester United up against Lyon. Coming out at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim's boys they finished 3rd in the league. 18 points for them. Up against Lyon, who did finish 6th. And again, both of these two clubs deserve to be at these quarterfinal stages. And if Man United have played Lyon 6 times since 2004, they've yet to lose. They've won 3 and they've drawn 3. And they're coming at you with a 58% form, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Meanwhile, Lyon also just 1 defeat in the last 6. Now, the last time that they played at Old Trafford, it was a 1-0 win for Manchester United back in March 2008. That was in the round of 16 in the Champions League. Lyon, though, will be taking on Auxerre this weekend. They're expected to win that game according to the bookies. Manchester United going to Newcastle. They're expected to take an L on that one. Must-win territory for Manchester United. They cannot afford to lose this match. Bookies have them in the driving seat for this one, and I've gone with a 2-0 win for Manchester United again, which will see them, I believe, go through. Let's confirm that now with you, with, of course, the aggregate scorelines. Lazio will be losers on over the 2 legs, 3-2, but Glimt will go through, and they will take on the winner of the Frankfurt and Dortmund match, which will end 2-1 on aggregate, 1-0 after the first leg. Spurs will join Bodo Glimt in those semi-finals. Meanwhile, in Spain, Bilbao will go through 1-0 on aggregate, following on from that 0-0 scoreline in the first leg in Scotland. And then, of course, Manchester United will go through 4-2 on aggregate, following on from the 2-0 victory here at Old Trafford. So the semi-finals, according to my data, will look a little bit like this, guys. It will be Bodo Glimt up against Spurs. It will be Athletic Bilbao up against Manchester United. So the possibility of an all-English final is still on the cards, but also we have a possibility of a bit of silverware going to some unsurprising ones. But Glimt, of course, who've been ever present in European competitions of the last 3 or 4 years now, and of course San Mamés' very own Bilbao, who could also get their own bit of silverware as well. So, what are your thoughts about that? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below as we look forward to the semi-finals. But of course, we've got to get through those quarterfinals, second legs beforehand. But until then, smash the like, smash the subscribe. I'll see you soon for the next one, whatever that is. But until then, we're done.